J. Jonah Jameson of the Daily Bugle exposes Peter Parker's identity as Spider-Man to the world, while simultaneously framing him for Mysterio's death and an alleged mass casualty event in London. As a result, a crowd forms around Parker and Michelle Jones, forcing them to flee from the media and the police. They take refuge in Parker's apartment, where they reunite with May Parker and Happy Hogan, who reveal they have broken up. Soon after, the United States Department of Damage Control, DODC, takes Parker, Jones, and Ned Leeds into custody for interrogation. Parker hires Matt Murdock as his lawyer, who successfully gets the charges against him dropped. However, as Parker, Jones, and Leeds return to Midtown High for their senior year, the controversy surrounding Spider-Man causes them to be rejected from every college they apply to, including MIT. Desperate to fix things, Parker visits the New York Sanctum and asks Doctor Strange to cast a spell that will make the world forget he is Spider-Man. Strange warns him of the risks, but Parker continuously interrupts the spell by requesting exceptions for certain people. The interference destabilizes the spell, forcing Strange to contain it. Frustrated, Strange scolds Parker for not consulting the college administrators before resorting to magic. Parker then tracks down an MIT administrator on the Alexander Hamilton Bridge to appeal for Jones and Leeds' applications. However, he is suddenly ambushed by Doctor Octopus, who seems to recognize him. During the fight, Octopus rips out a piece of the Iron Spider armor, but when Parker removes his mask, Octopus realizes that this is not the Peter Parker he knows. Using the suit's nanotechnology, Parker takes control of Octopus's tentacles and rescues the MIT administrator, who, out of gratitude, promises to reconsider their applications. Just as Green Goblin arrives to attack, Strange transports Parker and Octopus to the Sanctum, where he has already captured the lizard. Strange explains that these villains, Octopus, Lizard, and Green Goblin, come from alternate realities and were drawn into this universe by the failed spell. He secures the unstable magic inside the Machina de Cadavus, a mystical containment device. Strange plans to send them back to their realities, but Parker realizes that doing so will condemn them to their fates, death at the hands of their respective Spider-Men. Determined to cure them and give them a second chance, Parker steals the Machina and escapes. Strange chases him through the mirror dimension, but Parker outsmarts him, traps him in a web matrix, and takes his sling ring. He entrusts the Machina to Jones and Leeds before setting out to help the villains. Parker relocates them to Happy Hogan's condominium, where he attempts to cure them using a Stark Industries fabricator. He successfully restores Dr. Octopus's higher brain function by replacing his inhibitor chip. Meanwhile, he develops an energy siphon for Electro, but before he can cure Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin persona takes over. Goblin manipulates Electro into rejecting the cure, and a battle ensues. Lizard, Sandman, and Electro escape, while Green Goblin attacks Parker. Outside, May injects Green Goblin with an antidote, but it fails. Goblin then impales her with his glider and throws 2 pumpkin bombs, causing a massive explosion. May, gravely wounded, tells Parker that, with great power, comes great responsibility before dying in his arms. Devastated, Parker flees, while J. Jonah Jameson's broadcast further demonizes him. Worried about Parker's absence, Jones prepares to activate the Machina, but Leeds accidentally opens a portal using the sling ring. Instead of their Parker, they summon another Peter Parker, one from another universe who previously fought the Lizard and Electro. Trying again, they summon yet another Spider-Man who fought Green Goblin, Octopus, and Sandman in his universe. The 2 alternate Spider-Men find their Parker grieving on a rooftop. They share their experiences of loss, helping him cope. Together, they devise a plan to cure the villains. The trio retreats to Midtown High's lab, where each Peter Parker develops a cure. Peter 2 engineers an anti-serum for Green Goblin, Peter 3 recreates the lizard antidote, and Peter 1 prepares neutralizers for Sandman and Electro. They lure the villains to the Statue of Liberty. The battle begins, but they struggle with coordination. Realizing their teamwork is lacking, Peter 1 assumes command, designating himself as Peter 1, Osborn's Parker as Peter 2, and Electro's Parker as Peter 3. They strategize to take down their enemies one at a time. Peter 3 retrieves Sandman's cure and passes it to Peter 1, who administers it to Peter 2, restoring Flint Marko to human form. Lizard breaks free and attacks Jones and Leeds in the lab, but Peter 1 arrives in time to administer the antidote. Meanwhile, Electro proves too powerful for Peter 2 and Peter 3. But Doctor Octopus intervenes and uses his tentacles to remove the arc reactor, neutralizing Electro. Peter 3 shares a heartfelt moment with Max Dillon, while Peter 2 reunites with Octavius. As Strange prepares to activate the machina and send everyone home, Green Goblin ambushes them and steals the device. Before anyone can react, he plants a pumpkin bomb inside it, causing it to explode. The blast destabilizes Strange's spell, ripping the multiversal barrier apart, allowing intruders from across the multiverse to enter. Jones falls from the Statue of Liberty, and Peter 1 dives to save her, but is knocked aside by Green Goblin. Peter 3 catches her instead, redeeming himself for failing to save Gwen Stacy in his universe. Meanwhile, Peter 1 viciously beats Green Goblin, consumed by rage. Just as he is about to kill him with his glider, Peter 2 stops him. This moment of mercy allows Green Goblin to stab Peter 2 in the back. Peter 3 tosses Peter 1 the anti-serum, allowing him to cure Norman Osborn, freeing him from the Goblin's control. With the multiversal rift widening, Strange struggles to contain it. Parker realizes that the only way to fix the chaos is to erase himself from everyone's memory. He asks Strange to cast a new spell, making the world forget who Peter Parker is. Strange reluctantly agrees. Before the spell takes effect, Parker shares an emotional goodbye with Jones and Leeds, promising to find them again. Strange casts the spell, sealing the rift and sending the villains and the alternate Spider-Men back to their respective universes. A few weeks later, Parker visits Jones and Leeds at their new college, intending to remind them of their past friendship. However, after seeing Jones's bandaged head, he decides not to, choosing to protect them from his life as Spider-Man. He visits May's grave, where he meets Happy Hogan, who no longer remembers him. Accepting his new reality, Parker moves into a small apartment and begins studying for his GED. As he hears police reports of a crime in progress, Parker dons a newly hand-stitched Spider-Man suit and swings through the city, embracing his role as a hero once more. In a mid-credits scene, Eddie Brock and Venom are seen at a bar discussing the blip and superhumans. Before they can do anything, Strange's spell transports them back to their universe, unknowingly leaving behind a small fragment of the symbiote. Thank you for watching, and see you again in another movie.